VMS. It's Friday, September 16th, and I'm your host, Claire Helms.
And I'm Katana Martin, and this is VMS News.
Pride Patrol shirts are on sale for $10. See Coach Boggs for an order form.
Boys basketball tryouts are October 13th and 14th. A sign-up sheet is posted outside the office. Health data forms must be in the office by the 27th.
School pictures will be taken at Anderson Park and done during intramurals on the 30th by Miss Edwards' yearbook staff.
The first 12 people who turn in their permission forms for the Save the Planet get to go on the Save the Planet trip to Grace Point on Monday.
Hello, this is Jenna for a special news report. Our Scholastic Book Fair starts Monday. Book Fair will be open each day at 7 a.m. for your shopping pleasure. Tuesday will be our special family event. Book Fair will be open until 5:30. Students may come to get to the book fair at any time with teacher permission. Lots of new books and other fun items will be available for your purchase. All proceeds from our book fair are used to purchase new books for our library. For more information, visit the Vance Library website.
And here's Chris for the birthdays.
Here's the birthdays for September 16th. Daniel Green, Danielle Osborne, and Brandon Morley.
And Black Leonard.
And here are the birthdays for over the weekend. Parker Cox and Nevaeh Slaughter. Happy birthday!
7th grade is going to Rhythm and Roots today, so we wish them a safe trip there and back.
Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
Friday morning, VMS. I'm Gibson.
And I'm Micah, live from VMS.
It's Friday!
Today we have a very distinguished guest visiting with us at VMS. He has graciously agreed to allow us to interview him here on our program. With us this morning is Dr. John King Jr., our United States Secretary of Education.
Secretary King, thank you so much for taking the time from your busy schedule to talk with us this morning.
Thanks for the opportunity to join you.
Secretary King, can you tell us a little about your bus tour and what motivated you to do this?
Sure. So every year during the Obama administration, the Secretary of Education has taken a bus tour around the country to highlight progress and also point out policies that we think are important to continue to move education forward in the country. And so over this bus trip, we're going to 6 states, 11 cities and towns in 5 days. So we started out in D.C., then we went through Virginia. Today we're in Tennessee, we'll be in Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, and we will end up in Louisiana at the end of the week.
How has learning changed since you were a student?
Well, some things are still true and are sort of universally true, right? That school is really about the relationship between teachers and students, and between students and their peers. So that's always stayed the same. Technology does create lots of new opportunities to give students access to experiences maybe that I couldn't have had when I was in school. I mean, think about it. I didn't have email when I was in school. We didn't really have the internet when I was in school. So that's a huge change.
Were you a good student?
I was a good student. Academically. Sometimes I struggle with the rules sometimes, but that always happens.
You have seen a lot of interesting uses of technology in schools. What are some things that stand out to you?
Sure. Well, just yesterday I was in Charlottesville, our first stop on our tour, and saw students who were using computer-assisted design and then just building things on a 3D printer, similar to some of the things that I saw here today at Vance. I was impressed by the things I saw today at Vance. Students developing videos to explain how they solve math problems, students doing computer-assisted design, students using cartoon design to present information. That was really interesting. A few years ago, I was at a school where they were learning about anatomy, and the anatomy class got to participate live through video in a knee surgery that was taking place in another state. And they were actually, through the power of video, they were able to sort of be inside of the person's knee as it was operated on. For a student like me who grew up before all of that technology was possible, that's unimaginable.
We know that we have a town, teachers, and a superintendent that care about us. Even though we're not a rich community, they have provided us with great opportunities for technology. How do you hope to get the message across to other school systems that technology is important for students to have?
Well, one of the reasons I'm here today is to celebrate the good work that's happening here. What I saw today is students who are excited about what they're learning through technology. I saw students who are using technology to take ownership of the material, so getting to really know deeply topics that they're passionate about. And teachers who are excited about the ways technology is helping them reach their students more effectively. And so we're here at Vance to tell that story. We're trying to share the Vance experience with the rest of the country. And that's in many ways what the bus tour is about.
Mr. Secretary, how does the Every Student Succeed Act differ from the No Child Left Behind Act?
Well, a couple important things about the Every Student Succeeds Act. One is, and I taught high school social studies, so I like to put things in historical context. It's important to remember that the law is a civil rights law, that it is a reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. It was adopted originally to try to address inequality in educational opportunity. So the new law still focuses on civil rights, still focuses on making sure that all students have access to opportunity, no matter their zip code or their race or what language they speak at home. But one major difference from No Child Left Behind is that it allows states and districts to broaden the definition of quality education. And under No Child Left Behind, the focus was so much on English and math, and obviously you need those. Not going to be successful if you can't read and write and do math. But school's about more than that, and learning's about more than that, and ultimately success is about more than that. It's about science and social studies and learning to use technology and learning computer science and art and music and so many other things beyond just English and math. And so states now have an opportunity to broaden that definition of educational assets to make sure all students are getting a well-rounded education, the kinds of experiences I've seen here at Vance today.
Mr. Secretary, as United States Secretary of Education, what legacy do you hope to leave?
Well, what motivates me is the same thing that motivated me to become a teacher and a principal. When I grew up, my family was going through a lot. I lost both my parents when I was really young. My mom when I was 8, my dad when I was 12. And school saved my life. School was the place where I could be a kid when I couldn't be a kid outside of school. So I became a teacher and a principal to try to create opportunities in school that would be interesting and engaging. What I've seen today at Vance, students who are excited about what they're learning. That made a huge difference for me. I want to try to make that difference for other kids. That's how I thought about my work when I was a teacher and a principal and now as secretary. So I hope every day we're doing a little bit more to make it possible for kids to have a great experience in school.
Thank you so much, Secretary King, for being our guest this morning. Well, Vance, this is Micah.
And Gibson, taking a selfie with Secretary King on set. Live, it's Friday!
There we go.
Great.
All right.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you and have a fantastic Friday.